What are you doing here?
Hey, Gabriela sends me down here for the gabagool.
My name is Silvio Dante. On most occasions, you'll find me at the BadaBing, which I own and manage, a strip club in North Jersey. I was Tony Soprano's consigliere until I died in 2007. But that comes later. Let's start from the beginning. Well, the first time you met me was in the pilot, when I showed up outside Centanni's and saw friends of mine. I told Tony his uncle was going to cause a problem for our old friend Artie Bucco by trying to whack Pussy Malanga at his restaurant.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
And the Dante! $100 for a goal!
As for my family at home, I was married to Gabby Dante.
And here you are, Sil.
Heather was friends with Meadow Soprano, and they played on the high school soccer team together. I don't want to talk too much more about soccer because it makes me sick thinking about that coach. I was this close to taking him out, but it was Tony's call.
Back when Jackie was at the end, he floated the idea of me stepping up to the big seat. But I thought, it's not for me. I never saw myself as that kind of guy. I'm more behind the scenes. Advice, strategy. A lot of top guys had dark moods. And Winston Churchill, he drank a quart of brandy before breakfast.
Speaking of the devil, I've always been a loyal guy to Tony. I knew when to speak up, and I also knew when to keep my mouth shut. Well, for the most part.
The whole thing, misunderstanding.
Okay, there were a couple of times I fucked up.
Timeline got fucked up.
We go back a long way, Sil.
Indeed we do.
What are you getting at, Paulie?
Look, he's gonna be the new boss now. In name and everything. Wish him buona fortuna.
I'm so scared.
Hey, listen. This guy, he's a tough kid. He's a strong kid, Chrissy. He's tough. Very resilient.
He's right, Rishka. He's very smart man.
What's the matter with you? This is fucking swell. I got food poisoning. Don't yell at me.
This floor tile shit, misunderstanding.
I admit, there were some red flags from the beginning when it came to the Sopranos taking charge of the DeMeo family. I wasn't too thrilled about the whole psychiatrist thing, but my daughter went to a therapist when she was having some issues, and the world didn't burn down. I guess I knew a little bit more about the doctor-patient privilege because of that. So perhaps that's why I wasn't quite as taken aback as some of the other guys we knew when they heard Tony was seeing a psychiatrist.
I think certain people starting to wonder where your heart is.
People who? Tony? What?
Right there. Your attitude lately.
4 months inside, I'm supposed to skip down the street?
You're only as good as your last envelope. You know that.
But there were rats among us. Jimmy Altieri, for one.
Why don't you call for help in your radio mic, you fucking rat?
And the one that hurt the most. Big Puss. Puss was one of our best friends. He was family, but it felt like even more than that. Hard to explain. You've seen me do some pretty heavy stuff, but I have to admit, I was not looking forward to that boat ride.
You what? One thing you gotta admit, he made a great Santa Claus.
Speaking of other guys who weren't fully loyal, Paulie. In this thing of ours, it's all about keeping your mouth shut. But did I make the wrong decision by not going to Tony with every concern I had about Paulie and the other guys?
Things might be a little different, Paulie. You could accept some responsibility for a change. No! I'm just telling you how you're being fucking perceived.
Just worry about how you're fucking perceived. Nobody knows what the future holds, my friend.
Maybe I was a bit in denial myself about just how willing certain guys were to sell out our family the moment they didn't get what they wanted.
Loans for the time being.
Yes, sir. What, do you speak Norwegian? For now.
Did somebody say Norwegian?
Come on. All right.
Ugh, if only we'd left the Bing like a minute earlier that day, that I got shot by Lupertazzi hitmen. Fucking Patsy taking his sweet-ass time. Now that I think about it, I was getting a really weird vibe from Paulie and Patsy around that whole time. And as I lay bleeding out in the car and saw Patsy running away, I had a feeling he knew more than he let on. I did push a couple times, when I really had to, when I felt like it was really important. Like here, when Tony Blendetto had just shot 3 guys from the Lupertazzi family and was now on the run, and they wanted him so they could take care of him. But Tony wouldn't give up his whereabouts.
This attitude of yours, it's a lot of what's made you an effective leader. But we all got flaws, even you. 7 deadly sins, and yours is pride.
Of course, it wasn't just Paulie. Chrissy, where do I even begin?
It's amazing. You want me to be honest? The favoritism Tony still shows for our fucking cousin.
You believe this fucking guy?
After what he's done?
Shut the fuck up and deal, will you? What the fuck could you possibly have?
And I'm supposed to maybe take a bullet for this, Keith.
After all your uncle's done for you, I'm proposing you to get your butt.
And I love you. And that's the only reason you're alive right now.
Everybody, enjoy the evening. Unhappy customer. Anyway, show's on his way. I need to get into specifics.
As you know, I'm a pretty level-headed guy. Though I can get a little animated in some situations. Especially when it involves cheese.
Leave the fucking cocksucking cheese where it is!
Or you can grate cheese.
There was an entire wedge of Jarlsberg here this morning.
There's tough love still.
When I came in to open up one morning, there you were with your head half in the toilet. Your hair was in the toilet water. Disgusting.
Talk about a crazy period of time when Junior Soprano shot Tony, and I took over briefly as acting boss. As I suspected, I much preferred working behind the scenes, as a consigliere, where I could give objective advice and help balance out some of Tony's worst impulses, without having to babysit and micromanage these guys and their drama. As you heard me tell Bobby, mornings are better. But this job was 24/7, and frankly, I didn't want it. Don't believe me? You don't think it's so hard? You go try be acting boss. See how you like it.
Let me think.
Sil?
What? Mornings are better.
It sucks that it had to end that way. So, what now? I'm lying here in my hospital bed,
For this shit, I missed the Jets' first home game.
and Gabby's here taking care of me the best way she can. I can't see, can't hear, and can't speak. In a nutshell, everything's black. But I didn't even get to hear a nice song on the jukebox like Tony did. 2 weeks from this day, they decide to remove my breathing tube and life support, and I pass away shortly after. Anyway, what are you gonna do? I was loyal, and they can't take that away from me. Just when I thought I was out, well, it looks like I really am out this time.
It goes on and on and on and on.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this latest video. What'd you think? Let me know.